Hello everyone and welcome to our show. Today we discuss about customer and market research, how you can get a lot of traffic, sales, and I'm excited to discuss this topic with Fernando Angulo. How are you?
Hi, Anatoly. Really happy to be here.
Oh, for me, it's a big pleasure to get someone from SEMrush, especially you, because I check out your profile. You have extended experience. You can share a lot of valuable insights. So I'm excited to learn more about that. Before we start, just tell more about your experience, background, and why you decided to share with us about competitors and market research.
Sure, definitely. I've been in the digital marketing world for the last, it's going to be more than 10 years now. It's going to be like 15 years. And basically, what I have learned from our growth here in SEMrush, well, let me tell you a small story because that's the beginning. I was working for SEMrush for the last 10 years. So when I started working for SEMrush, we were like basically a startup. We were 30
Mhm.
people and we were growing, we were testing, experimenting, trying to enter to new markets. And that's when market research becomes so useful to us as well because we were a competitor research tool. Right now, we developed so many tools. Right now, we are about 1,500 people. We have several offices everywhere in the world, and of course, we are a public company right now. And of course,
Mhm.
everything that we are learning, we are trying to explain to the audience to make sure that okay, this was useful to us uh, at, at some point in the past. Right now, maybe this can be useful for you. Market. Right now, my role is the senior market research manager. So
Mhm.
basically, what I do, I'm collecting, helping the teams collect data from different um, geographic locations, demographics, interest and habits and user behavior data from different industries, and we collect all the data and we prepare the data to be used by our users in a tool that we call Trends, SEMrush Trends. So you can
Mhm.
use traffic data from there, and you can use user data from there as well.
Yeah, love it, love it. I often speak about data with marketers because today we are living in the world where you need to have the right data to cover your relevant audience. Can you tell more? For example, SEMrush has own data, a lot of data from Google and I don't know about YouTube and other places, but I know exactly about Google. How to collect data outside of any tool, because I'm not sure it's a good idea to use to rely only on tools. What do you think to find data that are related with your audience? And I'm interested how to create a buying persona when you have so broad audience. For example, I'm pretty sure that SEMrush has male, female, different ages, different specialists, advanced levels, interests. But how to use this data and cover your buying persona?
Fantastic question. Well, actually, there were like a lot of questions there. How we collect the data, how useful is that data, how to build that buyer persona. Well, let's start from the very beginning. How to collect that data? Well, you need for sure different data providers. You cannot just rely on one. The more data you have, the more sources you have, the better understanding on what's happening around you you will have. So at this point, having only data from one source is not what we do. We have several data partners. We are using, of course, clickstream data as well. We have around 200 million panelists. So this is raw data, and the data that we collect from these 200 million panelists are all over the world. And this is basically their digital footprint. So we can
Mhm.
understand what they're doing online. Of course, this is anonymized data, so we don't know their emails, their names, their bank accounts. We only know their behavior, their search requests, the time that they spent on any online resource, and we can match as well the age reference or the sex reference. In this case, we are just trying to answer questions like why they are doing that, but we are not giving our own opinion about this is why they are doing that. We're not forcing our users to go through, behind our backs. But okay, this is open data. You can just do whatever you want to do with this data. Well, that depends on the objectives of your company. This is in regards. That's in regards of data collection. In regards of how to use that data, well, basically, if you are about to launch a new business, if you want to enter a new market, or if you are developing a new product or service, you need to work with market research. Why is that? Very simple. You need to be aware about what are the potential risks of the market, how well the competition is working there, and of course, how many users you have, how many potential customers you can acquire from that market. So having all that knowledge using tools like, for example, SEMrush, there are many tools. But in this case, since I'm representing SEMrush, and of course, the tools that we are developing are the tools that we are using for ourselves. That's something that I really love about Steve Jobs when
Hmm.
he was saying that they are very glad, they are very humble when they can uh, launch a new product, and that product is going to be used by their own people, even their family, and they're going to be really happy about that. That's the thing that we feel as well in SEMrush. We launch a service, we launch a product, and we are the key users as well of that product. That was the
Hmm.
second question. The third question in regard of the buyer persona. So assisting all this data with our own algorithms, we um, we could organize and filter the data by user behavior. So right now, it's going to be around 20 billion keywords that we have of data from all over the world, more than 140 countries. We identified the search intent of those keywords, and we have the potential number of, for example, if you enter a website like Amazon, we can identify the percentage of keywords by user intent. I mean, is informational, is navigational, is transactional, or is commercial. And from
Hmm.
there, you can start building the funnel. Well, it's informational, it needs to be to the top of the funnel. It's more navigational, so it needs to be engaged. It's going to be go to the middle of the funnel, and so on as the commercial part. So using the data, selecting the correct stage of the funnel, and of course following the objectives of any business that wants to use that data.
Love it, love it. And let me share my story. It's interesting that I think 12 years ago when I started my first online project, I didn't consider user intent at all. I created only e-commerce content, and Google
It
ranked
always
well.
happens, yeah.
Yeah, Google ranked well. I didn't know about informational, transactional, anything else. I just thought I need to sell my products. Yeah, transactional. Yeah, I covered only that. But during some time, Google dropped my traffic, and I started to learn more about SEO, and got it that today users intent is a must-have. Can you tell more about that? How to learn your user intent before creating content? Because I always get the questions about the length of content, the structure of content, many different aspects. I know that Google doesn't consider the number of words, but people still asking me about that. How long we need to write, because when you check out SEMrush, Moz, or Ahrefs, any other tools, we can see long articles. But it doesn't mean that you need to write long articles. Can you tell more about that?
Oh yes, definitely. We're moving to content marketing, which is one of my favorite parts of digital marketing.
Hmm.
Here, I have two different ways to proceed with the answer for this question. How What is the content that I need to create in order to attract more people, right? You have two paths. The first path is always to follow the user. The second path
Hmm.
is to follow Google rules, how Google wants the content to be built, right? If we go with the first path, let's create content for the user. So basically, the content that you, as a business owner, or as a product marketer, or as a content marketing, the content that you are consuming for your own, no matter what is the source, For example, I really like to read news on BuzzFeed. I have my feed there from several other resources as well. That's something that I'm consuming. So basically, I'm consuming content from another sources, not only from the company that I've been working for Sembra, right? But
Mhm.
that format specifically built for me that I like, maybe is something really good to use for other users. And we're not thinking about SEO, we're not thinking about um, search features, we're not thinking about structured data. We're just thinking about the format of the content. That's the first way to go with. Go and check the content that you are already consuming, think as a user, and create something similar or even better. And don't think at all about Google. I know several companies, several content marketers that are
Mhm.
following that strategy. They are not thinking at all about SEO. They're only thinking about the user. So they are user centric content creators. The other part is, of course, thinking about Google and to think about the structure of that content, which is a really smart way to go with content creation. Why? Because here you are more probably getting better results with Google, following their own rules, of course, and you can gain something more than only new users. New users
Mhm.
are always great, but here you need to think about long-term strategies, online visibility, traffic growth, and audience growth. To create that is really important, and is basically the most important thing that you need to understand is the search intent. How to do this? Well, you need to take at least 5 or 10 keywords, phrases that users usually use to search your services, your products, analyze them in the SEO level. I mean, by the highest volume, low keyword difficulty. So the classical SEO stuff, right? But the second thing here to apply, which is the secret, is to use the same format or the same strategy using the four types of intent, which are informational, navigational, transactional, and commercial, with keywords and with the search feature. Yes, you're hearing me right. Here you need to create content based not only on what your user wants, but having in mind what Google is offering on their search engine page results on the SERP. Basically, what are they offering? They are offering us feature snippets, images, videos, carousel of products. They are offering us people also ask results. They are offering us local results. So they are bunch of different search features. So matching the needs of the user and Google result using keyword research and SERP research by user intent, you can easily understand how to create that content. Let me give you just a few hints. For example, if you want to create navigational um, informational content, you are going to create guides, tutorials, or starting with content with the word with the question keywords, what is or how to use. That's basically informational. Users are not going to be buying from that, but they're going to be attracted to that information. And if you want to have, for example, the feature snippet with that kind of result, you need to be more creative, of course, with these few steps. You need to use lists. You need to use paragraphs with no more than 42 or 45 words, because the feature snippet is really big, but the amount of words is very limited. For a definition, it goes very well. If you are in any country, no matter where you are, you can ask for Google for the definition of anything. You will receive a feature snippet. For example, if you have your Google Home device, you can say, okay, define plant, or define sunscreen, or define good, right? Whatever the definition is, you will receive a feature snippet. And if it's a product, well, define mortgage or define stocks or define Ethereum, like cryptocurrency. Every definition will be bringing a feature snippet. If we go a little bit further, with the commercial intent, you will be need to be including some words like, for example, better, the best, the cheapest, or superior, or reviews. Even for that, reviews are really good for the commercial intent. And to add more value from the search features, so we are combining keyword research with search features and user intent. You need to be using, of course, Google Shopping ads with and in the title using those keywords from the commercial user intent. And of course, if you are doing Google ads, you need to be using those keywords on the title as well. So there are several ways to create content that is going to be smart content to acquire more users. This is something really good, but of course, the product or service needs to be outstanding as well.
By the way, guys, you can find all these metrics in SEMrush tool. Just open it. You can find keyword difficulty, volume, cost per click, many other metrics, users intent, everything. Yeah, because I think SEMrush has more features than any other tools online. Yeah, it's
That's true.
I wanna ask you about keyword metrics. Let me explain why I'm interested about that. Because, for example, when I cooperate with a new client, they usually check out volume, and they can see, wow, volume, how much traffic, many sales, wow, yeah, I can take it. But we have many different metrics like keyword competition, I don't know, cost per click. Yeah, of course, cost per click doesn't consider SEO, but we consider it because we need to understand the user's intent, how we can sell with this keyword. Can you tell how is important keyword difficulty? Because some marketers can tell, I don't consider keyword difficulty. Others can tell, no, I love it. I need to understand how many backlinks I need to create or interlink this content or PR campaigns. And this metric, is controversial. Someone is believing on this metric, others not. Can you tell, what do you think about this metric? Do we need to consider or not?
Well, always an SEO answer is going to be it depends. It depends on the stage of the and size of your company. If you are Adidas, of course, don't look at this KPI. If you are Tesla, just forget about all this thing. You will receive millions of links anyway. But if you are starting a company, if you are entering to a new market, yes, of course, you need to follow these KPIs to have an interest on them. Because if you're not going to be taking a look into, for example, competition, which is not related to SEO, but more to PPC, to advertising, how many competitors are advertising that word. With the keyword difficulty is basically the opposite, is how many organic competitors are working with that type of content with that specific keyword. But there is something more interesting here that I would like to add. The number of competitors that are ranking for that specific keyword is going to give you, of course, a number on the for this KPI. The number can go from 1% or 100% with the keyword difficulty KPI. If it's 100%, that means that it's impossible to compete for that keyword. For example, go and try to compete for keywords like used cars, right? Or for electrician in my city. Those keywords are really high competitive, and there are other companies that they were ranking for that 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. But right now there is something even more difficult in this field, which are the search features. Uh, right now, and I believe the last 5 years, ranking for the number one position is not that important anymore. Well, it is, but it's not at the same time because of the search features. If you are, for example, if you want to open a bank account, of course, any bank entity will be interested uh, to be the first one, the first option for you. So that's why they're going to be using paid advertising for that. But there are other type of results, the search features that are going to be even bigger. I'm using right now a laptop, a notebook, a MacBook 13-inch size.
Hmm.
When I see these results, they're half of my page. For example, the feature snippet or the local pack or even the images, they are really big. So you need to be looking that uh, thinking about what is the stage of your business. You are already a big company, a small company, enter into new market, but always you need to remember about the search features. It's not only the competition; it's also about what is Google offering for that specific keyword, which is going to be competitors as well.
Yeah, yeah, love it. I found on your LinkedIn profile your key skills. Marketing strategy, market entry strategy. Can you tell how to create a content strategy for a new project? For example, many webmasters usually open SEMrush, find a list of keywords, and they create content with these keywords. But it's not good idea when you have limited resources. For example, a few copywriters. Designers, web developers, it's hard to create high quality content at scale, a lot of content. Can you tell how to choose priorities by using SEMrush, finding the right keywords, filtering out very competitive, choosing keywords that are related with your customers, because we can get traffic, but we can't sell it with this traffic. Can you tell more about marketing strategy?
So when you're entering a new market, and this market is not defined by the language, because entering a new market with another language, that's another story. But you're
Mhm.
entering a similar market. Let's start from the smallest. You're trying to compete not in the capital city, but in the second biggest city of the country, right? When
Okay.
you're trying to do that, you need to do something that is really easy to test, which is keyword tracking. In SEMrush, we have this tool that is called keyword tracking tool. We have it
Mhm.
for the last 8 years, and it's working really well. So you have 10 or 20 keywords that are the main keyword, the core keywords for your website. You need to see how people are reacting for those keywords and how Google is ranking those keywords in two different locations, right? Let's make it a little bit more difficult in two different locations and in two different devices, in mobile and desktop. You set up traffic traffic tracking campaign for these 20 keywords in those different cities using the SEMrush tracking tool, and you will see the results. How these keywords are ranking in this city. So how what is the demand of those keywords in those cities? It usually happens that the demand is completely different between cities that are located in the north and the south. For example, in here in the Czech Republic, the south is not that different from the north, but some people loves more something different, but it's not different at all. But if you were in countries like United States, India, UK, the south is completely different to the north. Their decision making, their the buyer's journey is different. So having the knowledge about how people are reacting to those keywords is just the first step. There is a demand for the same product in two different cities. Let's make it more complicated. Two different countries with the same language. If we are changing the language, that's a completely different story. Using the same algorithm, starting a tracking campaign, 20 keywords, just trying to understand what is the demand of those keywords in those two different countries. If you find that the demand, I mean the positioning of those keywords for your competitors is good, you will be already winning knowledge about who is your main competitor in the second country or in the second city. You will be receiving a winning knowledge about what is the ranking for those keywords. There is a demand for that product, and you will be already good and quick to go with your next strategy, which is okay. Now that I have the knowledge about what is the demand in those cities, let's start creating content with those keywords. That's the SEO part. The second part for entering a new market, it is to understand what is the popularity of these topics, which is more related not to SEO but to PR. And here it comes another tool that we created that is called topic research, which is basically analyzing what is the stat right now for this specific topic. Is it trendy? It have a lot of resonance. What is the reach of the people? If I'm gonna talk about let's say again mortgage, right? In
Mm-hmm.
this city, people are taking more loans than in this other city. Or what are the key factors that people are asking? What is the what is the percentage rate? What is the increase in aging? Whatever the question it is, um, company, a business needs to find out before creating the content, before entering that market. So basically, what my job is to understand all the situation, be prepared for entering a new market, and just make the decision. So that's why market market research is so important, and that's why I love it so much.
Yeah, valuable, valuable. Love it. Okay, I have the question about money. SEMrush is expensive tool, yeah, compared to others. But we have on SEMrush many features that, for example, Ahrefs doesn't have about social media marketing, outreach, CRM. Can you tell which, for example, I usually pay for outreach tools. Yeah, always do it. I pay for my content. How it's called? I don't remember. Like, okay, let's skip it. This tool. Many different tools. Can you tell how to save money with SEMrush if I'm using only SEMrush and skip some other tools that marketers usually prefer? For example, like Busumo or I don't know, Bustream, Pitchbox, Hunter, any tools that we can use on SEMrush. Can you tell more about that?
That's a very interesting question. I remember it because I hear that question a lot in the
Mhm.
past. And of course, that's something really important to understand what is the pricing of the tool and how to get more benefits
Yeah.
with the tool, right? Because if you're a newbie or if you're starting in the digital marketing world, of course, you don't need to use SEMrush from the beginning. You don't need to pay for SEMrush. You need to educate yourself. It's better to go take a course on digital marketing on SEO and understand what you need to do. People who are using these power suites, these tools like SEMrush, for example, or the rest, they need to be aware about the benefits of working with these kind of tools. For example, for a freelancer, they have several tools for offering several services to their clients, starting from SEO with the audit of their whole website, keeping in a good shape the internal structure of all the pages, creating content for them, having their social media visibility on a good way, and of course, if they want to invest a little bit more, they can have more information about what is happening on their industry or in other industry to apply some risky ideas or to avoid some mistakes that others are doing. So it's a lot of knowledge, it's a lot of information that is not meant to be, at least that's our principle for only one person. So it needs to be at least 2 or 3 people in the marketing team to use the whole spectrum of tools that SEMrush is provided. If you are
Mhm.
only an SEO, it's good. You can have other tools or other free sources for keyword research, for example, for free. But if you are already in the path of growing your business, you will need to have a content writer or a copywriter You will need to have a social media manager. So basically, a team to work with different aspects of digital marketing. That's why thinking about saving money with SEMrush is not the right way to do the digital marketing. It's more about how I can benefit myself to get more clients, to do more stuff working with social media, content marketing, paid advertising. And right now, we are not only working with Google, we have several different projects. We're working also with competitor research on Amazon. So we have
Mm-hmm.
this tool that is called Sellerly, that is helping you to understand how to sell more, providing you with keyword research, with A/B testing for your products on Amazon. Is another different product, but it's meant to be for digital marketers as well. And we go even beyond of that. We recently acquired a company that is called Compite. Um, and that is another service, is compite.com, that is giving you the tracking of your industry. It's a tracking tool for basically corporations, for industries, and it's going to giving you alerts in regards of these companies acquiring other companies, or how is the situation in this environment with this industry that you are in. Or we acquired 2 years ago another company that is called Crowley, which is basically a CRM for journalists. So if you want to create your backlink strategy, of course you need to go to the PR links as well. And creating a PR strategy is like the top of the pyramid of SEO. Having those links on the right place and having those real contacts with real journalists is something you need to have. So as you can see, SEMrush is not only SEMrush. We are right now other several projects that are also included on the SEMrush platform, because you can go from SEMrush to all these other companies and other projects. And of course, we have our own marketplace for content. You can order content from our own service. So that's why thinking about saving money with SEMrush is not the right way, as I believe, it's my personal opinion, is how to take profit from tools like SEMrush is providing. I will say that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, love it. You remind me Elon Musk when he told about Tesla. Why Tesla is expensive? Because you don't pay for petrol. You save money with that. So if you save money with that, just check out time frame. When you drive Tesla, so you can get this money on your pocket. Yeah, definitely about that. Can you tell more about social media marketing? It's like indirect factor. How it's important today? Because for example, on Ahrefs, I can check out only backlinks, keywords, many other stuff, but it's SEO related. But I see that SEMrush pays attention with indirect factors. It's not about SEO. Of course, social media is another channel. I don't think it's a good idea to consider just to help with SEO. It's more about to cover another channel and branding as well. Can you tell how it can help SEO as well if we cover and promote our brand on social media?
Brilliant. I really love that question, because it's a really smart question for a digital marketer. If you are a digital marketer, your main goal is to acquire users, is to engage users and to make them buy more, return for more to your website. If you're an SEO, your main goal is to provide the best results for your clients and to make the content more visible for search engines, right? So basically, all the work that a digital marketing is doing is to find, engage, and of course make that user loves the product or service that they're finding with you. In this matter, when we are talking about user acquisition, as mentioned, there are several different channels. Some of the users are, of course, using search engines. Others are using parallel search engines, for example, even Amazon, or at some point it's Netflix or Amazon. Yes, when you're looking a series on Netflix, you're also doing being marketed by products, because this is a product placement. A lot of products are there, and maybe you're not aware about that. At some point, Amazon was also really good by hiding the real paid projects that they had with the rest of the products. Actually, only 80%. I remember it was 3 years ago when we held that research. Only 80% of the only 18% of the users were aware about that. Okay, there are paid ads on Amazon. Yes, they have paid ads as Google has. Not at that amount, but they have, right? So in this case, we as digital marketers, we are where users are, and they are of course on social media. Few years ago, they were also on platforms like Facebook. They're still there, but they're migrating from platforms to platforms. Right now, most of the user engagement is on TikTok. Yes, short videos
Yeah.
are everywhere, reels on Instagram. So where the users are, where their attention is, the product needs to be, and the work of a marketer is to transformate um, that awareness from your service or products to that users, not being aggressive, so being following all the rules of good marketers, of course. So
Mhm.
in SEMrush, you can track the social media platforms where the users of your competitors are. So basically, you just need to enter their domains. We will gonna be checking if they are on YouTube, if they are on Instagram, if they are on LinkedIn, if they are on Facebook or on Twitter. We are adding other social media platforms as well. I believe we have Pinterest. We are checking for all the countries, because basically, I don't remember anyone here in, at least as I know, in the Czech Republic that is using Pinterest. But in the US or in Spain, they're using Pinterest a lot. For other search engines, for example, is more difficult. Right now, there is a social media that I really love. We don't have that on SEMrush, but the name of this social media is Be Real. Basically, every single day is sending you a message that you need to take the picture where you are, and you have 2 minutes to take that picture. So you are just getting up from the bed, or just you are eating something. It's kind of a campaign against Instagram beautiful pictures and fake filters that you have. So the attention of the people is in those platforms. A company, of course, a digital marketer, of course, needs to be thinking about where to engage those users. A few months ago, ads on TikTok were not a good option. Right now, of course, they are, and they are brilliant ads on TikTok as well. For Instagram, for Facebook, if you don't have a social paid campaign, for example, for promoting your content, well, it's a great strategy to promote your content on social media. For more, on Facebook, they have billions of users everywhere. So basically, for that aspect, user acquisition with parallel channels, and even more, where the user has more attention, is something that any digital marketer needs to be doing.
Yeah, interesting. I have the final question about the future of SEO. Can you forecast the future? For example, I often see the topic SEO is dead or not. I can understand, by the way, the who is asking about that, because it's hard. It's really hard to compete today in SEO world. But we know about new things that are coming, like metaverse, Web 3.0. What do you think? What kind of future will be? And yeah, how SEMrush will consider this future?
Oh, the future is is coming, and it looks very technical. If you are
Hmm.
a developer, you have developer skills. You are working with some of the top languages, or maybe the old languages like, I don't know, C plus, Java. Of course, you need to be doing your your research on languages to be using. So the future of SEO, in my point of view, is very technical. it becomes more technical every year for the changes on the algorithm. For the web 3.0, it looks like really hard to do. But
Mhm.
the essence of SEO to be organizing the data for a search engine. Maybe it's going to be still Google. Of course, it's going to be still Google. Maybe it's going to be a new search engine that are
Yeah.
coming these days. You will need to be still doing the core of SEO, which is basically organizing all the data in a sense that the search engine is going to be understanding it. I don't believe that SEO is going to be dying anytime soon. While we have search engines, SEO is going to be there. The form of that search engine is going to be defining the languages, the technicalities that are going to be there. Because in an essence, SEO from the last 10 or 15 years has not changed in an essence, right? To provide the search engine with the structure of the data, every single page needs to have the meta description, the attention that for example, in Google, that links needs to have for now. In the nearest future, that's not going to be changing at all. Only, I believe, only if these new things with the metaverse are going to be creating a new search engine, but that's just a speculation for now.
Yeah, I love your reply. By the way, guys, I can share my thoughts about that as well. We can see that SEO is growing. Yeah, we can see something like this, and it will not be dropped in one day. It takes time. To change habits, to find something new. When you have experience with SEO today, you can adapt much faster than your competitors. With new technologies, new things that will come. So I remember when Gary Vee replied to the question why we need to consider TikTok if the US will ban TikTok, and he replied, "Okay, but you can get experience with TikTok. Okay, if the US will ban TikTok, you have the experience, and you can consider this experience with other social media. It's the same with SEO. Yeah, if SEO will be decreasing, you can find other ways considering your experience, and be much better than your competitors." Yeah. Fernando, it's a big pleasure to get in my
Nice.
show, to learn from you. You shared a lot of valuable insights. I love SEMrush. Tell our audience how they can reach out to you, learn more about you, follow you.
Thank you, Natalie. I had a great time as well. I really love your future vision of SEO. Yes, it's definitely that. Yes, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn. My name is Fernando Angulo again. The last couple of months, I'm more into Twitter, so you can find me
Mhm.
there as well, Fernando One Angulo, and let's keep in touch.
Mhm. Okay, guys, you can find all these links in the description below. Listen us on Apple, Google, Spotify. Follow Fernando, learn from him because he shares a lot of valuable insights because of his experience and loving what he does. Okay, guys, love you. See you.
Bye.